Hey guys, and what a difference a week can make. 2 wins in a row against Chelsea and Newcastle, 2 goals to 1, and Wolves are now back in the top half of the table. Confidence starting to come back, and we are next up against Bournemouth, who are a good footballing side and having a good season. Coming up next then is my preview of that game, including my team predictions, score predictions, and lots of stats and little facts that I've managed to dig up. So first up, if I sound a little bit bunged up or a little bit red round the nose, that's because I've had a bit of a head cold this week. I'm just getting over it now, but I still sound a little bit bunged up. Those of you that are very keen watchers will notice that my hair's a little bit lighter because it's Christmas and my hair was well overdue a cut. I've had some highlights in it. It's come out because I thought my hair was a little bit bland and I just wanted to jazz it up a little bit. I'm quite pleased with it myself. Let me know what you think anyway. So there you go. Also, before we get on to the nitty-gritty of the Wolves versus Bournemouth game, I've got to say a thank you. And this is a thank you. These flowers aren't for me. This is a thank you for John, who is a avid Wolves fan and watches my channel. And the flowers are for my mother. My mom, she's actually 80 years of age today. And those of you that watch the channel regularly will know that she has been through the mill a lot this year. In fact, you know, she's had surgery on her heart to mend her valves, and at one point we were really nervous whether she was going to make it through. Fingers crossed she's a lot better. We're taking her out for a meal tonight, and John, thanks ever so much, came up to me at the Newcastle game, gave me 20 quid to get her some flowers. I'm sure you'll all send best wishes to her as well. So, sorry I've rambled on a little bit there. So, next on to the game. So, head-to-head, Wolves do not have the best head-to-head. That we've played them in the league 6 times, I think 13 times in all, and we've only won once. Bournemouth have actually won the last 3 games 2-1, and Wolves have actually not beaten Bournemouth at all since beating them on the 31st of December 1989. So, pretty much 30 years, all but a year. So let's hope we get the result. This is also the first ever top flight fixture between Wolves and Bournemouth, and hopefully it will be the first of many. So on to some Wolves stats and facts. Wolves are actually vying to win their first ever 3 games in a row in the Premier League. If they beat Bournemouth, 3 consecutive top flight victories will be the first time since March 1980, so quite a long time. So let's hope they can do that. Wolves' tally of 6 victories this season is actually more than the whole season that the last time Wolves were in the Premier League when we got relegated after 16 games, so that's pretty good. Wolves have actually failed to score in the first half at Molineux this year in the Premier League since Ruben Neves' 44th minute goal against Everton on the opening match of the season. So again, let's hope that we can get off to a good start, get into the lead, and, you know, have a stress-free game. That would be brilliant. Wolves have also scored 2 90th plus minute goals in the Premier League, which is actually a joint top with Man United. Diogo Jota has scored in successive Premier League games, and he will be the only the 4th Wolves player to score in 3 successive Premier League games if he scores against Bournemouth. So Bournemouth have had 5 defeats in their last 6 games, but they have played 4 of the top 6. The Cherries actually could fail to score in consecutive Premier League matches for only the 2nd time in 2018 if they don't score against Wolves. And their last 6 Premier League goals have been scored before half-time. So the irony is that Bournemouth score in the first half, we don't, and, you know, they haven't scored many in the second half, and that's when we tend to score. So hopefully if we can get a goal in the first half, that puts us in good stead. 10 of Bournemouth's last 11 Premier League goals were actually scored or set up by Callum Wilson or Ryan Fraser, and Wilson has actually scored 8 Premier League goals already this campaign, equaling a career best tally from last season. Now, on to team news. Callum Wilson for Bournemouth has been their key man. Wolves were once interested in, but we got beaten to the punch by Bournemouth a few years ago. Callum Wilson was obviously out with a hamstring for the Liverpool game, but by all accounts he's back into contention for the game against Wolves, and he is going to be their danger man if he does play and start. Wolves apparently now have a full squad to pick from, with Johnny Otto back in training. I can't see that Johnny Otto is going to be back starting tomorrow. I'll be surprised even if he's on the bench. I think they'll be more looking to make sure he's fully recovered, but he is back in training, so you never know, you might see him on the bench. In terms of the actual team itself, well, the back three pretty much picks itself, but Ryan Bennett and also Connor Cody are both one game away from a one-game ban, which would be the Liverpool match. Especially Connor Cody would not want to miss that game. Diogo Jota is also on 4 cards and 1 card away from a ban. In the middle, that's probably the biggest question. Who's he going to start? I think he will revert back to the Moutinho-Neves partnership. Saiz has done very well recently, but you cannot see Neves being dropped out of the team, and also Moutinho did well when he came on. It'd probably be harsh on Saiz, but I just think Neves, he'll just get the nod. The wing backs will still be Vinagre and Doherty. Up front, I think Jimenez will be back in the starting lineup then with Jota, and then who does he play alongside? Where does he fit Morgan Gibbs-White in? Will Morgan start? There's a lot of people saying that Morgan should start. Maybe he will start in that sort of roaming role between the middle 2 and the front 2. Or will it be Cavaleiro, Costa or Adama Traore? I think he will hold Morgan back in reserve. I don't think Costa's done enough recently to start. Adama Traore started the last game. I think again he'll be held back. So if he was to ask me, I think it'd probably be Cavaleiro that will start up front, and that's my team prediction. What do you think the team prediction will be? In terms of score prediction, I'm feeling quite positive about this one. I know Bournemouth are a very good side. They've had some fantastic away wins. They hammered a good Watford side at Watford 4-0. They beat Fulham at Fulham 3-0. So they're good away from home. They play good football. But I do think that Wolves are going to win this one. I hope we can keep this clean sheet. I'm going to put... My head is saying 2-0 or 2-1 to Wolves. My heart is saying that for once we're going to actually win and put all our chances away, and everything's going to go away, and it's going to be happy days, and we're going to win 3-0, maybe 4-0. And that's not being harsh on Bournemouth, but it's just saying that at some point that's going to happen for us, and maybe it'll happen against Bournemouth. Fingers crossed. Leave your team news and predictions below in the comments, as always. So from the Newcastle game, a big shout out to M. Keane, who got the score correct and also the goal scorer correct. Nice one, mate. M. Keane 1990. And yeah, so also you can enter it on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I'll put it up there for you, and you can connect to me on that as well. And yeah, so it's coming up to Christmas, it's coming up to my birthday soon, so if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and you'll be first to know when I do any uploads. And if you're a Wolves fan, or you know some Wolves fans, just ask them to subscribe to my channel, and that would really help me out, and I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much. Come on Wolves, hopefully we can get another 3 points and make it 3 Premier League victories in a row, and who knows where we'll be at the end of that, and then it'll be on to Liverpool on a Friday night under the lights. But let's do the job against Bournemouth first. Come on.